all about anything that I'm talking about, please let us know in the comments. So first of all, I'll start with the stuff that's on the outside of my pack. Usually I have stuff on the outside either because it's dirty or it's wet or because I just want to have really quick access to it. So first things first, this is my Z-Packs multi-pack, which clips across my shoulder straps and hangs like right here on my chest. Usually what's in this is a bunch of snacks or other things that I might need to have quick access to. So in my multi-pack I have a pair of sunglasses. These are nothing super special. Sports sunscreen. We got chapstick, stick stuff for my face. I have a hand sanitizer, always helpful on the trail. Emergency ibuprofen. Quick access ibuprofen, I suppose, is more accurate. Also in here, I keep my journal. I write down, hypothetically, I would be writing down everything we're doing, but that's not happening. But I am keeping track of where we sleep and the miles that we do every day. Appalachian Trail wallet is a snack baggie. Last thing I have in here is a knife. This is the CRKT. The model name I think is SPEW actually, but it's just a little knife and sheath, and I don't know, it's convenient mostly for cutting food. That's pretty much it. And that's it. Sit pad from Thermarest. Possibly considered a luxury item, but honestly, I use it all the time. It's awesome to have if the ground or any surface you want to sit on is wet, and also it's super helpful when it's freezing cold and you want to sit on something without freezing. Also on the outside of my pack, on the other side, I have strapped my camp shoes. These are from Unshoes. I don't remember what the model name is called, but they're relatively lightweight. I'm carrying the Z-Packs Arc Zip. I chose this pack because it was really lightweight, which I really appreciated, but it still had a little bit of a frame, which I'm still, I think emotionally attached to that idea, that it's sturdy on my back and that the weight sits on my hips and it's not on my shoulders. Maybe I could move to something frameless, but I just wasn't ready for that yet. The difference between this and the regular Arc Blast is that it has this zip. You can open up the entire pack like this. I don't use that feature as much as I thought I would, but I still really like the zip for the occasional time that I really want to get to something that's at the bottom of my pack without having to pull everything out. I have water on either side. It's just regular old liter water bottles. Then I got some, mixes to put in my water. And then on the right side, always available right here, is my bear spray. Controversial, some people say unnecessary. I look at it like a seatbelt. I mean, I've worn one my entire life and I've never used it. I hope to carry this my entire life and never use it. I would much prefer to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, etc., etc. On my hip belt here, I have the camera case. This is the Osprey's ultralight camera case. I have an extra battery in here as well. The camera we're carrying is the Sony RX100. And so I always have that on my hip. I have the Z-Packs triplex or triplex, however you want to pronounce that. You can pitch it in all kind of different conditions. Other than in the winter, a little bit of condensation issues, which we've pretty much got figured out now. This tent has been awesome for us. Okay, so now let's dig in and get to what's actually inside my pack. First and foremost, what is most important when you're walking on the trail? You need toilet paper. You never know when it's going to strike. Never pack this at the bottom of your pack. You never know when you're going to need it. We have CNOC or however you want to say this, water bladder. It is awesome. We have enjoyed the heck out of this. This thing is durable. It is convenient. It's quick. Sometimes you come up to a water source and it's just like a little stream along the ground, which if all you have to collect with is basically like a water bottle top, it's very hard to get much water out of that small little stream. This thing is it's bendable, and it's really easy to lay it down on the ground where that stream is and let a bunch of water flow in. So anyway, this thing is awesome. I use this all the time. So I do not carry a water filter. I carry just a few emergency water purification tablets just in case Ryan and I get separated. But I carry a water bladder and Ryan carries an additional water bladder and the filter. In this outside pocket, I have just my regular Black Diamond spot headlamp. The only thing I have complaint with is that it has this little touch button on the outside to go into like crazy mode where it just goes like super spotlight on you. I mean, it's nice to have a super spotlight option, but it does not need to be a touch button on the side that I keep knocking by accident all the time when I don't want a bright light. Alright, so next I have a little first aid kit that Ryan and I put together. I'm not going to go through all the little stuff that's in here, maybe we'll do that in another video, but I definitely have a little bit more stuff than Ryan keeps. I just have a little bit of regular, like over-the-counter medication for colds or whatever, and then standard first aid stuff for cuts or anything like that, blisters, that sort of thing. I also usually keep a gallon-sized Ziploc that is our trash bag. I have the extra strap that goes on my Z-Packs multi-pack. It's just a strap that you put over the top so you can use it like a sort of messenger bag or like a purse or something. I use this all the time when we are in town. Alright, so that is everything that's in this outside zipper pocket. Now let's get to the main pocket. I have my little visor thing. I use this both for the sun but mostly for when it's raining to keep the rain out of my face. And then I have in this bag, I just keep like cold weather stuff, so I've got my gloves. They're just regular old runner's gloves from Under Armour. And then I have a little windbreaker headband thing. I've got a weird thing where my ears, I have like this really awful earache when cold wind gets in my ears. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, I always have to have this headband on. And then I got a poncho. This is a Sea to Summit Ultra Sil Nano tarp poncho. It can either be like a big tarp or a poncho. It doesn't keep you bone dry, but honestly, I'm not really sure there's any rain system that does. But especially in the summer and the warmer months, I think that this is going to be all that we really need. But this keeps the pack dry, which is the most important thing, and it keeps me more or less mostly sort of dry. Alright, and then last in this little bag of like rain or cold weather gear, I have the Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain jacket, I think is what this is. This is actually first on my list of things that I might be sending home soon, just because I already have the poncho. I'm not really sure if it's absolutely necessary. I also started out with the Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain pants, which are also a really awesome, lightweight, effective product. But you know, the tarp just sort of, or the poncho just sort of took over once the weather got a little bit warmer. So I think that that might also happen to this, that because the weather's getting a little warmer, the poncho is really all that I need. The bag is an Outdoor Research just stuff sack. It's not waterproof. It doesn't need to be waterproof. Anyway, okay. So the next most important thing that I might need to access at some point is food. Hot tea, hot chocolate, and dinners, ramen, noodles, all that kind of stuff. It's in this bag. And then in this bag I have snacks. Hey, kitty. Oh, doesn't want to talk to me. Hey, kitty. I just have a Snow Peak titanium fork. And then I created with some tape, I created this little sheath for the end of the fork, which I've actually been using since the very beginning because the first time that I put the fork in a Ziploc bag or in this bag or something, it poked a hole through it, so I needed to put a little sheath on it. This is another Outdoor Research, just regular old stuff sack. I need to replace this with a waterproof stuff sack because I hang this every night, and when it rains, this is not waterproof and everything gets soaked, which is really annoying. So none of the food really gets ruined because it's all, you know, individually packaged usually, but then just it's wet, I have to put it in my bag, it's heavier. So I'm going to replace that bag. I'm also going to replace this bag soon because this is just the stuff sack that came with my Enlightened Equipment quilt, I'm pretty sure. It's light and nice, but I don't think it was meant for this. And again, it's not waterproof. Next, we have my cook system, a Toaks 1,100 milliliter pot, and then inside that a 550 milliliter pot. So we have caps for both of those. And then I've got everything packed inside. This is just a regular old cotton bandana, which I use as just like a general purpose rag. And then I have just a piece of sponge, which I can use to clean the pots. I have the BRS little stove. This thing is the one that's like less than 20 bucks on Amazon, and it weighs an ounce or something like that. I've been using it for almost 2 months. It's working just fine for me. And then the fuel canister fits right inside there, and then underneath the canister, I have my little mini Bic titanium 550 pot from Toaks. Okay, so next out of the pack is my toiletries bag. This might be a little bit of overkill, but it's working for me so far. Again, my luxury item, a hairbrush. Still very happy to have it. Deodorant wipes. I honestly, most almost all days am not using deodorant, but it is nice to have that option in a little tiny disposable sort of form. Toothbrush. No, I have not chopped it in half. I have the full thing. Small toothpaste. Here's earplugs. I have a lot of them just in case I lose them because these things are critical. I gotta sleep and I cannot sleep with snoring. I don't know what it is. My brain just will not shut off. Baby wipes. Little tiny scissors I've got from a Swiss Army card, actually, like a utility card. A pair of tweezers, pair of nail clippers as well, like vitamins and various like medicines, things like that. Everything that I've taken out so far has just been put in the main compartment of the bag. The main compartment of the bag is water resistant, but I wouldn't say fully waterproof because water can sort of seep through the zipper lines and stuff. But then inside of that, underneath all this stuff, I have a compactor trash bag, which is just sort of like a heavier duty regular trash bag. And inside of that, I keep anything that is really, really important that it doesn't get wet. We've got my little bag of electronics. So the main thing in here is our battery block. This is from Anchor. This is the 21,000 milliamp hour block. Usually when they're advertising these sort of things, they advertise how quick the bank will charge your phone or your device. But what was important for me was how quickly this bank will be charged, because I'm not always going to have access to 20 hours at an electrical outlet to charge this thing. I want it to be charged in less than 6 hours. So I got the kind that has this thing called power delivery, and it is up to 30 watts. Your usual fast charge for your phone is about 10 watts. So this charges really fast. So anyway, even if I only have access to an outlet for a little while, I can get this charged up pretty well. The other important thing is you need something, a block that plugs into the wall that will actually deliver 30 watts, which is not common. So this is also from Anchor, plugs into the wall, and it gives you a power delivery USB-C with 30 watts, in addition to a regular USB, which will give you a fast charge on your phone. So this combination here was really important to us, and this helps us to stay active on our phones, even when we're out in the wilderness for 4 or 5 days at a time. 3 power cables that connect the various things to the various things. So it connects this to our phones, this to the wall block, and the wall block to our phones. Next thing that's in the compactor bag inside my backpack to keep it super dry is my clothes bag. So it's super important that these clothes stay dry, because if everything I'm wearing gets wet and it's cold, it's super important that I can put something on that is dry. I'm just gonna dump all these out and then tell you what they all are. Okay, so stuff that I'm using every day, usually wearing every day. Socks. I have 2 pair of the Injinji liner socks that are the toe sock kind. I've never worn these before the AT, and I have not gotten a single blister in almost 2 months. 2 pair of Darn Tough wool socks. These things are also awesome. 2 lightweight wool t-shirts. For a little colder weather, I have the Smart Wool 250 layer for the top, and then actually I'm wearing the wool bottoms that I have for a mid-layer. These are the Icebreaker 200 something. I have 2 pair of these wool briefs by Stoic. For sleeping, I have a pair of, I think this is like 50% wool, 50% polyester mid-layer, also by Stoic. A heavyweight silk long sleeve mock tee for sleeping. This thing is super comfortable and warm. I'm still carrying this just wool buff, usually for sleeping in. Actually, I sort of fold it up and put it over my my forehead and my eyes when I'm sleeping. I also have some sleeping socks, super light fuzzy socks. And then for bottoms, like outer layer bottoms, I'm either wearing, I don't know what exactly these are, these Arc'teryx hiking pants, which are super comfortable and awesome. If I'm not wearing the pants, if it's really hot, I just got this little skirt thing, which I've actually really enjoyed. I'll try to put the model in the description because I forget what it is. And for really cold weather, the big guns is the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer jacket. If it's not raining, I keep it on top because as soon as I stop hiking, I put this on. Because you get cold really fast, and this keeps me warm, and I wear it almost all evening, every evening. Patagonia, Houdini, windbreaker jacket, I always keep this on the top as well. Easy access because I put this on all the time. This thing is amazing. The combination of this with this hoodie has been my favorite. I think in the summer it's going to be my go-to. It's going to be all of the warm clothing that I'm carrying. So this hoodie I wear almost every day, all day when I'm hiking. This is the Appalachian Company alpaca hoodie, and it breathes super well. It's awesome. I don't overheat in it, and it keeps me really warm when it's cold outside. It also is actually awesome in the rain. So I actually, if it's cold and raining, I keep this on under the poncho. The poncho doesn't cover my arms, and it gets soaking wet, but still keeps me warm, and it dries really quickly. So one of my favorite articles of clothing, actually. And then I also am almost always wearing this, which is also from Appalachian Company, also alpaca, and it's just like a really thick, heavyweight buff. Is that what it's called? Thick, heavyweight buff thing, and I don't know, I just don't overheat in it very easily. So even when it's a little bit warm, I'm actually usually still wearing this. It's really comfortable. I like the fact that my neck doesn't get sunburned and that it keeps me nice and warm. All of my clothes are stored in a Sea to Summit Ultra Sil dry bag to keep them super, super dry. I also am carrying a icebreaker sports bra, which is also merino wool. For a pillow, I have the Sea to Summit Eros Pillow Ultralight Regular. Love this thing. It's the last thing in my bag. It's my sleeping bag. So it is in the event from Sea to Summit. It's the ultralight version of this compression sack, and I haven't had any problems with it so far. It seems to keep everything nice and dry. Okay, inside I have the Enlightened Equipment Revelation down quilt. It's a custom 0 degree extra wide, I think. I can't say enough good things about this quilt. We were out in some really crazy cold weather, and this thing kept me warm, and honestly I'm starting to wake up overheated, so I'm probably gonna have to go to something a little cooler soon, and I'll probably get another Enlightened Equipment quilt, honestly. This thing is awesome, I love it. Alright guys, that is everything. My pack is empty except for the compactor trash bag that I use to keep my clothes and sleeping bag dry. Oh, I forgot one thing. So actually in the bottom of this bag that I keep the sleeping bag in, I also have the Enlightened Equipment hoodlum, which goes over your head when you are sleeping and snaps at the front here under your chin, keep your neck warm. This is to replace the hood portion of a mummy sleeping bag. I haven't really had to use this that much, but it has been really nice to have on the very coldest of nights. Guys, that is everything that is in my pack. My pack is totally empty. Okay, I'm headed down the street to an Outfitters where there's a scale so we can weigh everything and see what my base weight's looking like. So now I have added into my pack all my consumable fuel, toiletries, food for about 4 days. So that'll give me an idea of what I'm usually carrying when I have just resupply and I leave a town. This should be about the heaviest that the pack ever is. But it's not including what would usually be about half a liter of water that I would be carrying on average, so we should add a pound to whatever this comes up to. Alright, 26. So maybe it'd be like 27 with the water on it, so that's really it's not too shabby. I've definitely found that my limit is anything that's much over 30, I sort of start to really struggle and just not have a great day. So anyway, that's good. I'm happy with that. That's probably about the heaviest that my pack would ever be for about a 4-day trip. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if there's any questions that you have. We'd be happy to make more videos about any of this stuff, any of the details that you're interested in. Thanks for following along on our trip. This has been just an amazing ride, honestly, and it has been just fantastic. I have so many people following along with us and supporting us on our journey. This has been really awesome. So thank you so much for your interest, and thank you so much for watching. We're really happy to have you.